let's figure this out. Today I'm going to show you how I use my TC-Helicon Voicelive 3 Extreme on a day-to-day basis. So this right here is the board itself, with the main beast being the TC-Helicon, of course. Up here we have the Switch 6, which is just some extra inputs for this. Over here we've got a little Boss TU3 tuner, and then up here this is actually a little Joyo rated boost that I just use as my sort of acoustic drive, so to speak. So originally I had the drive coming out of this one here. If we flick on the guitar, I had it down there and you'd hit it and it would jump in, but I preferred the sound out of this. I've only had this for a couple of weeks. I was torn between this and a Fender Acoustic Overdrive, which I still might get depending on how this one pans out long term. As you can see, it says normal 1/8 dotted, so that's the delay over here, so that I know when I turn on the delay what sort of delay it's going to be. And then as I flick through them, it's just, so that's a normal eighth, then you've got a quarter note, and then you've got a quarter and an eighth note, so they're sort of like a ping-pongy type thing, and then it just goes through and it's got a few normal ones. So the reason I've got it set up like this is because if we dive into some of the guitar settings, you'll see over here it says body res and the settings within that. And if I flick between various settings, it's going to keep them exactly the same all the way through. So I do it this way so that as I'm changing presets, my guitar tone stays exactly the same. The easiest way that I find to do this is to basically spend a little bit of time creating one preset that basically has all of the same settings that you want it to have, and then you copy it across multiple different presets and just go in and edit the small things like the delay timing and stuff like that. Most of the harmonies are exactly the same, the reverbs across all of them. I haven't dug too much into individual presets for different songs. I like having just a general setting for a lot of my shows. So at the moment we're on the guitar screen, and we know it's the guitar screen because it's got the red lights over here. That being said, this is a little blue light. So all of these buttons are assignable into different parameters. And what I noticed I was doing is I was going to hit the harmony on the vocals while I was still in the guitar screen. So what I did is, even though you can see the little guitar icon over here, even when I hit this, it's still going to take me into a vocal harmony. You can see the little mic over there. So even when I flick between the guitar and the vocal channel, you'll see that the harmony stays exactly the same. So that does the same thing all the time, right? So over here we've got some really simple guitar delay, we've got some reverb, we've got a shift that's a bit like an octave shift. I might bring that in when I'm doing a solo, if I just want to get a nice low octave in there. Over here we've got the rhythm, that's a bit of a tremolo, that's all synced into the timing of the loop station. And then over there, assigned on my guitar hit button, basically it'll just turn the delay and the reverb on and off in one go. So it's nice and easy if I just want to do it all at once instead of needing to reach over and push these two over here. So we've got that set up like that. Now if we push this button over here, it's going to flick between the guitar and the mic setting, and we've got the mic setting pretty much laid out exactly the same. So the hit will do the same. If we hit this button down here, it's going to turn on the delay and the reverb just like that. Same thing goes with the delay, on and off, reverb, on and off, rhythmic. Again, set to that sort of tremolo-y type style, and the harmony down there. But that one hasn't changed from the other setting. So over here, you can see on all the layouts over here, we've got the step function over here. Now I've assigned this one so that when I push this, it takes me into my key and my scale. So say I'm singing a song in C major, I can set the chord to C. Over here it says major 2, so that's the type of harmony it's going to give you. But what I can do then is I can also go in and I can change that scale. Say I'm in C minor, or I do a custom scale or something like that. I personally prefer major 2, so we leave it at that one, and then I exit out of there. And you can see just down the bottom there, it says C major 2, so it's kept that one. Over here you can see it says F sharp major 2. So basically I have it kept on that setting because I tune my guitar down into E flat. So when I play a G chord, is going to sound like an F sharp chord. So I often use that sort of harmony. It's set to just a standard third up, but it's a nice, easy, normal preset to have it on so that I know exactly where I'm moving from and to. So that's assigned across all of the different presets. One of the really cool features about this particular board is that the whole thing runs on USB power. Basically, I was told by a good friend of mine, David Shanahan, go and check him out, he's got a great YouTube channel as well, that you can power a lot of your devices off USB. So at the moment, if you'll see down here, I have a little power bank running that whole thing. See up there, it says 12 volts. I'll get a wee close up over here. It says 12 volts. So the input for the TC-Helicon Voicelive 3, it takes a 12 volt 1 amp input. So that's 1000 milliamps over there. And this cable converts the 5 volt output of the USB to 12 volts, 1 amp. So it takes 5 volts, 2 amps, converts it to 12 volts, 1 amp. So it's really, really handy for things on the go. You also get a really good clean sound out of it. I was noticing that between some of my TC-Helicon stuff and my Boss stuff, I was getting a little bit of signal noise. But using USB, I've noticed that I don't get any of that noise anymore, which is terrific for when I'm doing any of my looping stuff. Also means that I can take all of this on the go, take one of these and have the whole thing powered up and ready to rock. So it's a great solution for anyone considering that sort of thing as well as USB. Like I said, at the moment, my Switch 6, I'm using that sparingly. I've only got a couple of buttons assigned to it at the moment. So if anyone has any suggestions on maybe different things I can assign to it, please let me know, because that'd be really, really cool. One of the reasons that I have my different presets set up for different delay timings is that what I do is I plug I've got a Headrush loop board, and I plug the MIDI out of that into the MIDI in of my TC-Helicon. So what happens is all of my delays and things like that get MIDI synced into the tempo of whatever I record my loops at. So this was one of the main draw cards for me buying this, is to have a nice MIDI synced delay, so that I can have that on my guitar and on my voice at the same time. So I could say finish a song and have a nice delay trail going off as it's done, so the song doesn't feel quite as dry to finish. So it's got a lot of draw cards in it. I probably use it at a very basic level, as I'm really just starting out with it. I don't necessarily use the looper in board because I have an external looper anyway. I'm looking at upgrading to the Boss RC600 when it comes out in a couple of months, so I'll be very excited to make some videos on that and share my thoughts. But at the moment, I've got a nice wee simple board that I can take to a gig. It's got everything in it that I need, and I can very quickly dial in things if I really want to go and adjust stuff. The menus on it, while they are a little bit deep and a little bit confusing, are actually not too bad once you get the hang of it. The only thing that I wish that this had, and I'm surprised that it doesn't, given that it's 2021, is that I wish that you could edit all of the effects on the computer. Similar to the Line 6 HX effects or any of that range, you can edit on the device, or you can plug it straight into your computer and edit it through there. The only thing with the voice support 2 that you can really do is just copy your presets over, and it's good to have, but it's a little bit limiting at the same time. So TC-Helicon, if you're listening, that would be a lovely update. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down below in the comments. I'm going to be making some more videos with some more covers and some more tech news as well. So feel free to give us a follow, like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.